So I'm going to show you guys how to build a team for the current VGC season that will allow you to basically control your opponent and dictate the play of the game. So I want to quickly show you guys this team, which is not relevant because, of course, we can see a Mega Charizard and Megas are long gone. So why am I showing you this team? So this team is one of the best teams you've never heard of. So this was the team that I took to UK Nationals 2015, and I finished top 16 with this team. And this team didn't go any further than that simply because I failed the team. The team was very good. It was the only tournament I attended that year as well. To give you an idea, why do I only have the one decent finish with it? But that format was a restricted format, so there were no legendary Pokemon. It was actually national Pokedex, so that all of the Pokemon were available except for legendaries. And by building this team, I was able to come up with this particular strategy for those particular formats. So let's quickly talk through this, because I'm going to be building an analog of this team for Scarlet and Violet, and showing you guys how you could build your own teams in a very similar way. So we've got Mega Charizard Y and Sylveon. So they were there for big spread damage. So Fire type and Fairy types, they complement each other very well offensively. The only things they can't hit for either super effective or neutral damage are opposing Fire types. But we have everything else covered between those two. So we've got big spread damage coming out from those two. Then I had Reuniclus, which was to set up Trick Room. So this team was a Trick Room team. And then I had these three Pokemon here. So these three are actually the strategy I was referring to before. So if we've got Breloom, which has access to Spore, has that Spore pressure to put opposing Pokemon to sleep. I had Scrafty, which had both Intimidate and Fake Out. Intimidate's not so relevant now, since with Scarlet and Violet, Intimidate's just been nerfed over the last few generations. But Fake Out is the important thing here. And lastly, Staraptor, which should have this move. Final Gambit, so a fast Final Gambit Pokemon. And between those three, Sleep Pressure, Fake Out Pressure, and one-hit KO Pressure, it enabled me to do what I wanted with the other three members of the team. Get big damage, set up Trick Room, and get big damage off from there. And you can use these three Pokemon or their analogs to build your own teams in Scarlet and Violet. In fact, we're going to do that right now. So, the way we're going to do this is I'm going to build the team almost exactly the same as the team that I've just shown you. So, for big spread damage, fire damage, we're going to go with Armarouge, because it does have access to that Heat Wave. Charizard was very strong because it could set up the sunlight itself with its drought ability. Of course, we don't have access to that in Scarlet and Violet. What we do have is Terra type. So we're going to go Fire Terra so that we can boost our fire moves even more. And Armarouge also, quite helpfully, learns Trick Room. So we've got our Trick Room user and our strong spread fire damage. Sylveon is available, so Sylveon is going to come straight back as well. My Terra typing for Sylveon, I think it's fire as well, actually. Fairy is fine, but fire as well, because we've got that Hyper Voice. Nice and easy, those guys are out of the way. I also put Murkrow on the team, just because I wanted Tailwind. A Tailwind that can't be stopped, so I've got Murkrow on the team as well. Of course, Murkrow is very popular. Then we get to those other three Pokemon. So Breloom is available, so Breloom's coming back, one of my favourites, and of course it will have Spore. And then Scrafty is not available. So in terms of Fake Out Pokemon, if we have a quick look, these are what we have access to here. And since with Trick Room, we want to go with something that's fairly slow, can help us get Trick Room up and abuse Trick Room, and that's going to be Hariyama with its Guts ability and a Flame Orb. So that's going to allow us to get this Fake Out off immediately, burn ourselves at the end of the turn, and then we're we've got boosted damage, especially if we get Trick Room up on that same turn as well. So big damage coming out from Hariyama. The Terra type here is, of course, Steel. Just a really good Terra typing in general. Of course, Hariyama weak to Fairy, so being able to terrestrialize the Steel type. Also has access to both Iron Head and my move of choice, Heavy Slam, because Hariyama, he's quite fat, so he does a lot of damage with Heavy Slam, which is based on the Pokemon's weight. So that's our Fake Out Pokemon. We've got our Breloom for Spore. Lastly, Staraptor is also in the game, so Staraptor's going to come back. Again, Intimidate not so important. The previous team had double Intimidate with Scrafty and Staraptor. I'm going to keep Intimidate for now because it's always useful. But honestly, Reckless is a pretty good ability, something that I might switch to as well to get extra damage off with moves like Brave Bird. Of course, we're going to go Final Gambit. We're going to go U-Turn so that we don't have to Final Gambit, but we have the ability and the threat of Final Gambit. And the other two moves are going to be Brave Bird and Close Combat. Really nice coverage there. With the Flying Terra type. So, if I quickly put Tailwind here. Once again, we've got Trick Room and strong spread fire damage. This will be holding a Life Orb, by the way. We've got Sylveon, big spread fairy damage, so we can identify which one of these two powerhouses we'll be bringing in the team preview. We've got Murkrow, which I don't use too often, but is there for Tailwind support. And what else do I have on Murkrow? Actually can't remember. I know I have Protect and Perish Song. This moveset's very experimental and prone to change for sure. Maybe even the Pokemon itself could be different. It doesn't have an attacking move. I just can't remember what I changed it to. But they're for Tailwind, so we have Tailwind support. All of these Pokemon, while they are... Hariyama's the slowest. The others aren't particularly slow. Staraptor's base 100 and has a Choice Scarf, so it's very fast. Sylveon is base 60. Armarouge is 80 or 85, I believe. I think it's 85. And Breloom is 70 or 75. So not the slowest Pokemon, so they can function in Tailwind as well. Murkrow has Sunny Day. That's the other move. So I do have a way to set up Sunlight as well. If we get Tailwind up with Armarouge in the sun and I Terastallize, it's just stupid damage. Breloom for the threat of Spore. The other great thing... The other great thing that Breloom does is, with Technician, has access to Mach Punch. So Breloom has the threat of sleep, but also the threat of damage as well. And my particular Breloom is... Not that this is particularly important, but I believe it's Rock-type Terra. And it does have Rock Tomb. So the reason it has Rock Tomb is because knowing what my team can't, well, not can't be, but has a bit of trouble with, as I mentioned, opposing fire types. And both Armarouge and Ceruledge are immune to fire. They have the Flash Fire ability. So having access to a surprise move that's boosted by Technician to hit fire types is pretty necessary. So I don't mind having Rock Tomb on this set. Hariyama, so again, is bringing our Fake Out to help us get up our Trick Room or Tailwind or whatever. And then Staraptor is has that Intimidate pressure, has really nice coverage between flying and fighting, can pivot out with U-Turn, and can one-shot things with Final Gambit. And also, as a bonus, outspeeds Annihilate, which is the most common Final Gambit user that we'll see in the format. Doesn't knock out if they're bulky, and we go for the Brave Bird, which again is why Reckless might be the better ability in this particular format. But anyway, that's the team. That's all there is to say. And if we switch over... there we go. So, we're switching over, and I have something to show you guys. Look at that, there's the team, it's already in the game. That was nice and quick. So you can see the team in its full glory now. So there's our Murkrow, EVO Light, shiny as well. I just caught it randomly while I was playing through the story. There's our Sylveon with Throat Spray and Quick Attack as well as Terra Blast. Hariyama, as we've already mentioned, has Drain Punch, so he can heal itself back up, and also access to Knockoff to be dealing with Ghosts and Psychic types. Breloom is Breloom, Staraptor is Staraptor, and Armor Rouge. So this Armor Rouge is pure fire damage. We've got the Armor Cannon Nuke and the Double Heat Wave Nuke as well. This team is by no means the finished article, but is the team that I used to reach Master Rank quite easily in the previous season. And I'm gonna confidently say that I'm gonna do the same thing again, and we're gonna do it now. Let's get into it. Wow, this looks familiar, doesn't it? So same team pretty much, except for there's no Meowscarada. There is a Goldengo instead. So again, this is more good stuffs. This is lead Murkrow, go for Tailwind next to Goldengo, and just try to destroy from there. So my go-to strategy here is Hariyama Armor Rouge again. It's probably going to be Sylveon again, because we're going to fight in Trick Room. I 100% expect the Murkrow Goldengo lead. And I do have to be careful, because our two ways of damaging Goldengo are the two Pokemon that I'm leading with. So if I take too much damage, and they don't lead Goldengo, and they bring it in late game, I could be in some trouble. We will bring Sylveon, and I'm kind of tempted to bring Murkrow for a late game Tailwind. So I think we're going to do that. Okay, so you guys can't hear the game. That's okay. Again, I'm not sure. I think it's a glitch with the actual program. These OBS programs, they are a little bit buggy sometimes. Again, I can't even, it's not even showing me any audio showing up from my microphone or the game. So Murkrow Annihilate. Okay, so that's a little bit worrying, because that could be Choice Scarf Annihilate with Final Gambit. Which I can't play around anyway. So we're just going to go for it. I mean, Annihilate only carries Rage Fist anyway, so that'll be super effective on Armor Rouge, but it won't knock us out. So we're just going to go for this. We're going to Fake Out, we're going to Trick Room. If they have Final Gambit, they have Final Gambit. We don't fight in Trick Room. I've got Murkrow anyway. So Murkrow flinched and couldn't move. It's just a bulk up. Okay. Happy with that. So we take no damage on our first turn. And here you can see, I mean, it's quite simple, really. It's, if you're familiar with VGC, you're familiar with this. Fake Out, Trick Room. I was about to act like it was some crazy strategy that I used my big brain to to come up with, but that's not the case. Okay, so we're just going to go in. We're going to go in on this Annihilate. It's a threat. I don't care about Murkrow at all. So it's going to be the double into that slot. Hello. Welcome to my first ever stream. Hopefully you'll enjoy it. With or without technical issues. Hopefully no more technical issues. Quash. Okay, yep, that's a nice play. So I wasn't banking on the Quash. I actually forgot about it, to be completely honest. But we're not weak to ghost moves anymore, because we've terrestrialized and got rid of our weakness. Still does a lot of damage though. This should knock out, I imagine. Yeah, it does. Okay, no problem. So not ideal. We took a lot more damage than I was hoping we would. Yeah, Quash is a little bit annoying. I forget that a lot of Murkrow carry this. For now, I'm just trying to get to Master Rank. But in future, maybe we can do some battles, Malachi. So Garchomp comes in, and Where are they going to quash? I imagine they're going to quash Hariyama. Yeah, I imagine they're going to quash Hariyama. I've got to be careful because Murkrow in the back isn't looking too amazing for me anymore. We're going to try and just dead this Murkrow. I don't care about the Garchomp for now, but the Garchomp can do its Earthquake. It can Terrasilize, do its Earthquake. So they do quash Hariyama, unfortunately. So our Armor Cannon comes out. I don't know if this is going to knock out Murkrow. I think it should, actually, because we're Terrasilize and we've got Life Orb. So it does. Good. So no more Quashes coming out. So for those of you who maybe don't know, Quash forces the Pokemon to move last. So they quashed our Hariyama, who would have gone first under Trick Room, being the slowest Pokemon. It's now going last. So it's going to take this Earthquake from Garchomp before it can fire off its own move. We lose Armor Rouge, but my opponent's down to their last 2 Pokemon. And I'm very happy that we have our Hariyama sticking around. And we're about to get some HP back as well. It's Life Orb Garchomp, so we can bring in... Oh no, we can't bring in Staraptor because I didn't bring Staraptor. I was going to say we could Intimidate it, but I didn't bring Intimidate. So, this is really good because we got a few more turns of Trick Room to go. And I've got a fighting Pokemon on the field, a strong fighting type, and I'm about to bring a strong fairy type onto the field as well. So they've got 2 dragons. One of them's gonna turn into a steel type, and it's gonna be that Hydreigon, I can bet. And this is perfect. This is absolutely perfect. So this is an easy Drain Punch, Hyper Voice combo. Yeah, my opponent can't play around this unless they've got some crazy Terra type going on with Garchomp, and they protect the Hydreigon. I can't see my opponent playing their way out of this position. So here we go. Let's see. So Hydreigon Terrastalizing. It's a fire type. Okay, so they might survive this turn. They probably will survive this turn. And Garchomp protects. Okay, cool. Still really nice damage. We might see a Flash Cannon from this Hydreigon, which would threaten Sylveon. So this won't knock out now. That was a nice play by my opponent. Our Throat Spray goes off as well. Yep, 2 Dragon types. So Heat Wave comes out, that's fine. Sylveon survives that all day. Hariyama probably survives it as well, it does. Okay, so from here, I think we're on the final turn of Trick Room. And I'm threatening a double KO with Sylveon now. But what I'm going to do is get Murkrow in, because it should be a free switch for me. And go for the Hyper Voice. And if my opponent does get the double protect, which would be the worst case scenario if they protect both Pokemon, then on the very next turn, I can just Tailwind with Murkrow, and I'll be faster than them with Sylveon either way. So this is our safest play for sure. Nice shiny Murkrow. So Hydreigon goes for Protect. Do they go for the double with Garchomp? They should. They do. They don't get it. So that's why we made that play. If they did get the double Protect, Trick Room ends at the end of this turn, and Sylveon would be the slowest Pokemon on the field. But getting Murkrow on the field allows us to play around that. So even though our Sylveon is now slower than Hydreigon, I'm just going to Tailwind and Hyper Voice again, and we should outspeed. I'm saying all that, watch us not outspeed now. We outspeed, okay, so I did do my speed tiers correctly. And that's another beautiful thing about this kind of team comp, is that you can run Trick Room. Hello Samuel, welcome. You can run Trick Room, and that you can also run Tailwind, because you're not running like minimum speed, slow Pokemon. And it's very important to know like speed tiers of just Pokemon in general, of course, but to know what speeds your Pokemon can hit. So you can go up against, for example, Grimmsnarl. Watch me now get this wrong. I think it's base 60 speed, same as Sylveon. But I know my Sylveon's pretty fast. So my Sylveon will probably outspeed any Grimmsnarls, for example. But there we go. That one was that went quite smoothly. Quite pleased with that game. Worked out quite well. Let's go for another. So we're slowly climbing. We're slowly getting there. Okay, so this is cool. We've got a Sun team. We've also got an Indeedee. So a Trick Room, Sun team. What do we do here? A Trick Room Sun team with Tailwind, because they've got the Talonflame as well. So this could be a really tough one. Yeah, this could be really tough. It comes down to whether or not they lead the Talonflame. Oh, Dragapult is very good. Dragapult is very, very good for competitive. All of the pseudo-legendary dragons are very good in VGC right now, for sure. Especially if you catch it with a Steel Terror type, or even a Fire Terror type. Yeah, really, really good. What do we want to do here? Yeah, it all comes down to this Talonflame. I'm tempted to lead Breloom. Breloom doesn't look that good though, does it, to be fair? Outside of the Spore threat. It really doesn't. I've got to hurry up. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go Staraptor. We're going to go Breloom. We are going to go with Hariyama. And we're going to go Sylveon. And we've left both of our speed control Pokemon at home. No Armarouge, no Murkrow. Partly because I was running out of time a little bit there. I don't know if you saw. But we'll see. This is going to be a real, quite literal trial by fire for our team. We'll see. We'll see. That's Indeedee and Armarouge. So this is actually a really good lead for us. Do I wish I'd brought Armarouge? I think it's probably fine. I think I don't need to. So Psychic Seed Indeedee. And okay, you're about to see exactly what I was talking about. Unless we see like a Choice Scarf or something, which I don't think we will. You're about to see exactly what I was talking about. So I'm going to go straight for the final Gambit. All day long. And yeah, I do have Rock Terror type. That's good to know. And then the Spore. So follow me. No big surprise there. I mean, Indeedee does get Trick Room itself now. So that's the end of Indeedee. That's also, sadly, the end of Staraptor. Nice, shiny Cinderace. Not bad. Not bad at all. And there you go. As I was saying earlier when I was talking through the team, it's all about control. I can stop my opponent from doing what they want to do. I can do what I want to do, but if I'm not confident or I'm worried about what my opponent could do, there are ways for me to then play around that. Now, we're still in a very tough spot though, because my opponent probably outspeeds me with all of their Pokemon, although by the looks of it, they might have been going for a Trick Room, so they might have wanted to go the slower route. What do I want to bring in here? We'll go Hariyama. We'll try and soften them up because I think they might have some dragons in the back. I don't recognise that name. It's Garganical. So they wanted to go Trick Room for sure. And we've just brought Hariyama in, which is perfect. So the question becomes, do I want to Terrastallize into the Steel type? I kind of do, if I'm being honest. Yeah, I kind of do. I think that's what we've got to do. We're going to go straight for the knockoff. Hopefully Armarouge doesn't wake up. And we're going to go for the Rock Tomb. They're never going to see the Rock Tomb coming. And hopefully that will be the end of this Armor Rouge. I'm not too worried about the Garganical for now, to be honest. I don't really know what they're planning to do with it. But yeah, not too worried. Say that, watch, I don't know, normal Terror Explosion or something. I'm more worried about what they've got in the back. It's a Ghost type. So I'm glad we didn't Drain Punch that. So Rock Tomb, that slows up. Look at the damage. That's insane. That is insane damage. That slows Armor Rouge down. Our Hariyama should outspeed, which now it does. So there we go, Armor Rouge gone. So we controlled them. We stopped them getting what you'd assume was Trick Room up in the beginning, when they looked like they had a surefire way to get Trick Room up. And Iron Defense. Not really what I want to be seeing at this point, but it's okay. I'd still rather be in this position than my opponents. And that is something that's the turtle. Wow, Torkoal. That's Torkoal. This couldn't have gone much better, to be honest. I mean, to be fair, we're in a bit of a rough spot now. We've got 2 Pokemon weak to fire on the field, so it could have gone better in that regard. They've got Body Press, haven't they? They've definitely got Body Press on Garganical. Damn. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We get Sylveon in. We just start sporing all over them. I assume they're going to go for the Body Press into the... Oh, they've actually protected. That's a good protect. Into the Hariyama slot. They may not. But Sylveon will resist. It'll probably still do a ton of damage, though. Yeah, so there's the Body Press. Okay, so it's not even a 2-hit KO, so perfect. That was a really... That was an amazing play by me. Yeah, why not? Pat myself on the back. No, we got fortunate there, calling that one correctly. Now, I've got the free Spore. I've got the free Spore again, unless they go for the double protect. We're going to go for it. We're going to go for it. I would like to Spore both of these Pokemon, but we're going to go after the Torkoal. They get the double as well. No, that's not good. That's not ideal. I think we're okay, though, because, again, the beauty of Breloom and the threat of Spore is that, of course, it has Focus Sash. So they need to hit our Breloom twice to even be able to knock us out. And that's decent damage from Sylveon as well. And now we've got the boost from the Throat Spray. It's another Body Press. That probably takes us down to Sash. Is that a Shell Bell? And what is that? Oh, Leftovers. I wasn't paying attention. Okay, so that doesn't even take us down to Sash. I mean, from here, I'm tempted to Spore the Garganical, if I'm honest. But, I mean, they've got to be protecting it now, right? Surely. There's no way. So we're gonna go after the Torkoal, because they've just got the double. Okay, they just forfeit. So, perfect. There we go. And so what did I leave? I left both means of speed control at home. No Trick Room, no Tailwind. But once again, I was able to just completely control my opponent. They went hard into the Trick Room. They tried to redirect me. They tried to get Trick Room up. But thanks to the combination of Spore, Final Gambit, and Fake Out, I have all the tools that I need to just control my opponents and stop them doing what they want to do.